All right. I'm just gonna say this how I'd say it off camera. Personal training is weird right now. Like really, really weird. Because fitness has never been more popular, ever, and yet being a personal trainer feels kind of pointless a lot of the time. And if you're a trainer listening to this, don't lie to yourself. You felt that at least once. You're in a packed gym, everyone's training, everyone's got AirPods in, following someone else's routine on their phone, and you're just standing there thinking, what exactly am I adding here? So here's the thing though, personal trainers were never special because they were geniuses. That's not an insult, it's just reality. They were special just because people didn't know shit. No YouTube, no calorie apps, no what I eat in a day videos. Back then, if you knew how to squat properly and you were in shape, you were basically a wizard. So yeah, trainers were needed badly. But what's the story of this profession? Well, let's turn the clock back a few years. Well, maybe a few thousand, it's more accurate. Most people think personal training started in gyms. It actually didn't. It goes way, way back, like thousands of years. If you look at ancient times, people didn't train to look good, they trained to survive. In ancient Egypt, warriors had trainers. In ancient Greece, athletes didn't just wing it, they had someone watching them, correcting them, telling them what to do. Well, that's basically a personal trainer. The Greeks even had a name for it, tribes. Fancy word, sure, but the job was simple. Just move better, get stronger, and perform. The Romans did the same exact thing. Soldiers and gladiators trained with purpose. Strength, conditioning, discipline. It was no random workouts, even back then. Then, for a long time, all of that kind of disappeared. People still worked physically, but structure training wasn't really a thing. So now, if we fast forward to the 1800s and training makes a comeback, gyms start popping up in Europe, and people start realizing that movement isn't just about work, it's about health. Personal training, as we know it, actually really showed up much, much later. We're talking about the 70s and the 80s. That's when fitness exploded, bodybuilding, aerobics, gyms everywhere. And people started asking, can someone just tell me exactly what I should do? That's when one to one coaching became a thing. By the 90s, personal training became a real profession, not just, the big guy in the gym, but someone who understands movement, injuries, progression, and real life. Today, personal training isn't just about abs or muscles, it's more about confidence, health, longevity, and also fitting training into a normal life. So, yeah, personal training wasn't born on Instagram. It was born because humans needed guidance to move better. When PT became popular again, it was like another gold rush. But at the same time, the dynamics between trainers and clients shifted. And that's why the golden years felt so good. Not because trainers were better coaches, but because nobody could check your work. If you asked, is this the best program? And your coach said, yeah, sure. You'll be like, all right, cool. Who's going to argue? If you asked, does this diet work? And your coach said, sure does. You'll be like, all right then, and move on. You wouldn't even question it. So clients weren't paying for results, they were paying for certainty. It's for someone to tell them, do this and stop overthinking. And honestly, that has value in itself. But then the internet showed up and went, yeah, no, slowly at first and then all at once. And suddenly everyone realized, oh, it's calories, it's progressive overload, it's not actually that complicated. And that created a big, big problem. So you could feel the shift in the gym as well. Clients stopped listening automatically. They started questioning things. They started bringing opinions into sessions. And that, in a way, also exposed the real lack of knowledge of some trainers. And once that happened, the dynamic changed forever. Basically, you're no longer the authority on fitness, you're just an optional in the gym. Then YouTube completely cooked it because now you had guys and girls in insane shape explaining everything for free. Better explanations, better visuals, better transformations, and honestly, some of them weren't even that smart. That just by being consistent, charismatic, and yeah, well, jacked. But that was enough. At that point, selling sessions started to feel outdated. And this is the part that most trainers hate admitting. Programs are completely worthless now, like genuinely, not because they don't work, but because they are everywhere. If your business is built on PDF plans in 2025, you're late. You're very, very late to the party. People don't need another, push pull leg split, and they don't need another meal plan. They already have 10 saved on their phone. They just need to decide what's the flavor of the month. And if you train in London, you already know the gym culture here is, well, I'd say a bit different than the US. People don't come in shouting, not chest beating, no screaming across the gym. Most people are just walk in, headphones on, hood up, they get the job done and leave. London gyms are busy like always. Early mornings, lunch breaks, late nights, everyone's squeezing training between work, commuting, life stress, and zero sleep most of the time. And the vibe is less like look at me and more like don't waste my time. Uh, you got all sorts of people. You got office workers, before their 9 a.m. shift, or, tradesmen training after 12-hour shift. You got creative students, PTs, shift workers, all in the same place. Different goals, but the environment is the same. Clients here, they don't want you to be their hype man. They want results, they want efficiency, and also someone who understands their lifestyle. Nobody's got time for 2-hour workouts, and if it doesn't work in 45, 60 minutes, it just doesn't. So London also doesn't care about how you look, it's about how consistent you are. You don't need to be shredded, you just need to show up week after week. Also, here's the real part most people don't talk about, which is a lot of people train here for their mental health, not just for their body. Stress, anxiety, pressure, everyone's feeling it and the levels are skyrocketing. The gym is therapy for a lot of Londoners, and in a way, it's cheaper than actual therapy. So yeah, London gym culture isn't flashy, I'd say. It's quite discipline. It's routine over motivation. It's people trying to stay healthy in one of the most intense cities in the world. It's no ego, no nonsense. It's just work. So what do trainers actually do now? Most of the time, they're just there. They're just counting reps, nodding, saying that's nice and come on. That's not coaching, that's just being present. Presence used to be enough back in the days, but now not anymore, and especially until apps showed up. And presence used to be enough. And now AI is here. And I think a lot of trainers are just pretending it's not. AI doesn't forget, it doesn't guess, doesn't need motivation, it just works. And if your value is, I know what exercises to do, or, I know how much protein you need, you're not competing with other trainers anymore. You're competing with software, with a machine, with a fully equipped machine. So, yeah, good luck with that. So, no, I don't think personal trainers are dying, not just yet at least. But let's stop lying. Most of them are. And the ones who stand on gym floor waiting for leads, and the ones who think posting workouts is marketing, I include myself in that category. The one who think more certification will save them, again, that's me. The version of the job is just finished. Now let's put another uncomfortable truth out there. Personal training is an unstable job. It always has been. There's no salary, there's no sick pay, no holiday pay. If clients stop coming, you stop earning. It's that simple. And because of that, a lot of trainers end up clinging to the job. They undercharge or they say yes to every client. They work split shifts, 6 a.m. to 9 p.m., and they pretend that that's the grind when really it's just survival of the fittest, no pun intended. So you see that trainers are scared to set boundaries, scared to raise prices, and also scared to say no. Just because losing one client can mean not paying rent next month, especially in a city like London. So what happens? Well, it's burnout. Trainers stay in jobs they hate, in gyms that don't support them, chasing sessions just to stay afloat. Not because they're lazy or bad, but because the system is fragile. And here's the part that hurts. Some trainers start lying to themselves. They call the exhaustion, passion. They call being broke paying dues, and also the exploitation opportunity. But loving fitness shouldn't mean accepting instability forever. The truth is that if you don't build structure financially, professionally, mentally, this industry will chew you up. Being a good trainer isn't enough. You need systems, you need standards, you need a long term plan. Just because passion alone is not gonna cut it, especially when rent is on the line. Now, despite all of this, most people still think being a trainer is just about training people. Well, it's not. For most trainers, especially in London, this isn't just one job, it's 3 or 4 jobs at the same time. You train clients early in the morning and then you rush to another job and you're coaching classes or working on the gym floor. You do bar work or whatever pays the bills. Then you're back in the gym at night for more sessions. You do split shifts, no break, and you're constantly fatigued. And on top of that, you're expected to be a content creator. You need to post on social media, you need to film workouts between sessions, you need to edit until late at night, you need to try to stay consistent online while barely surviving offline. Then there's marketing. You need to learn about algorithms, you need to write captions, studying what works and what doesn't. You need to watch other trainers blow up and also wondering, what you're doing wrong. And then there's sales, the part no one prepares you for. You need to follow up with leads, you need to chase messages, you need to explain prices without sounding desperate, and also handling rejection over and over again. All of this while hoping that one day you'll become stable. Well, the one day you'll have a full client list, a regular income, fewer split shifts, and also a bit of a breathing room. But that, the future stability comes at a cost, which is the present. Sleep gets sacrificed, also training for yourself becomes rarer and rarer. Mental health takes a hit. And the hardest part, you're doing all of this with no guarantee whatsoever that it would work. You can work non-stop, post every day, say yes to everything, and still struggle. That's the reality no one glamorizes. So when you see a trainer online talking about hustle and grind, behind that clip is usually someone exhausted, underpaid, and trying to build something that hasn't paid off yet. The industry doesn't just test your knowledge, it also tests your patience, your resilience, and how long you can live in uncertainty. What people still need isn't knowledge these days. It's someone, that can stop them from quitting, someone to call them out, someone that actually gives a shit when motivation disappears. That's the real value that, trainers can offer. That's the only only thing we got left, to be honest. And even that might not last forever. So yeah, that's where we're at. Like fitness is free, information is everywhere. AI is getting scary good. And if you're a personal trainer listening to this, the real question isn't how do I get more clients? It's why should anyone need me at all? That's uncomfortable, but that's the truth.